something emotional?
I've had that happen recently, actually, where my sister-in-law slash like best friend, she came and she was just telling me that the relationship with my adopted mom is not healthy. And that she's seeing stuff that I wasn't able to see because she was the outsider coming in. And I was just so clouded by, well, no, she loves me and everything. And she said, no, I think it's your need for a mom, that you just accepted that, but I'm telling you right now, that's not gonna be good for you. And sure enough, she was right. I had a conversation and she shut me down completely and was like, I don't wanna hear you being childish. I'm like, this was a complete different person than what I had thought. And this was the person that my best friend told me she was. And I said, no, she has a good heart.
Not a lot of people can have a friend like that. I was going to
Very
make a
difficult.
comment because
That's something you're
Nikita,
allowing.
it took her time. Like, she'd tell me things, but stuff that she know I'm going to react to, she wouldn't tell me. And it's just like, I forgot what situation had happened, and a mutual friend of mine, ours, came and told me. So before I asked her why she didn't tell me, I handled the situation myself. And it was just like, but why you couldn't tell me yourself? And she had told me, like, the way you respond to things, I'm not used to. And sometimes it come off a little harsh. Like, you doing it out of the kindness, you're saying stuff out of the kindness of your heart. Like, out of the kindness of your heart, but how you're saying it is coming off harsh. So it's like, I learned a lot.
Who's here?
I learned a lot.
We were just talking about
Hey.
Happy birthday. Thank you.
The ghost herself.
Aw, we were
But
just
yeah, she,
raving about you.
She told
Right.
me flat out,
How
she walked in the
mature
room,
you are,
she knows
you've
that ain't the one.
changed.
And I'm like,
Look at that.
hold on, we need to go talk. Well, what are you talking about? That ain't the one. And she called her out completely. She said she's jealous. I'm watching everything. She has an evil eye on me this whole time. She's making snoot comments.
This is your friend telling you about your mom.
Yes.
Okay.
And then when I confronted her, when did I confront her? Yesterday or the day before? That's I got the argument with her.
Yesterday.
Yesterday, I sat her down and I said, listen, I don't know what you're mad about, but you seem to be making this issue all about you. It has nothing to do with me. I said, you're mad that my best friend was here. It's not about her. And I'm like, well, why are you up in arms about her? Like, what the hell is going on? You're just too childish. And then she said I didn't have manners.
Seems that she's jealous.
She's not jealous. According to her, she's never jealous. She's not a jealous person.
Well,
No, but
what I'm sensing is that she's jealous that you have somebody else
we told you.
that is important in your life.
And I didn't follow protocol. I was supposed to sit with her at least for 10 minutes and talk to her. And I'm like, I live with you. We're in each
Protocol.
other's face.
Wait a minute.
Protocol, yes.
So that's interesting. It sounds like Sheldon from Big Bang.
Yes,
Yes,
protocol.
roommate rule book. Is that her asking that she needs 10 minutes of your time?
I'm always with her. Like, always with her. She needs to go to the store, come with me.
Tell her about how she said that you weren't including her.
I wasn't including her in our activities. Like, we had wine and it was whatever. We're playing Uno. My best friend's beating our ass at Uno. I mean, it gets serious. She looks like she's a bitch.
Does she have a daughter?
She had a daughter that passed away. So I told her, I said, I don't think I can fill the shoes you want me to fill. Like, I can't, when someone comes to visit, your attention's supposed to be on them. It's not supposed to be on the people that live there. So I'm giving them the attention. I served your dinner. I did everything you wanted me to do. I washed your clothes. I still thought of you, but then when I'm telling you I need my own space, you're telling me I don't have manners. And now you're insulting me because you're saying I don't have manners, even though I bite my freaking tongue sometimes. I'm like, I'm not gonna hurt her today. All right, Mom. You know, I have to think about her in a mom figure. So when I sat,
That's interesting because I have to think of her in a mom
Yeah,
figure,
my
but
mom's thinking.
is that person behaving like
yeah,
a mom?
for me not to go off.
So did anyone else tell the truth?
Yeah.
Honesty?
Honesty, yeah.
Okay. How do you think having that relationship with your friend, are you the same way? Do you tell her as it is
Yeah.
going to impact you as a therapist?
I know how I am as a friend. It would have to be toned down to be a therapist.
Okay.
I know I'm a little out there with when I'm comfortable, but I guess because I have kids, I can shift into different modes really
Okay, and
quick.
you don't necessarily have to. What you could do is find the therapeutic modality that works for you. You might want to Google REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy. EBT. That is a type of therapy where you are very, very upfront. You're an asshole.
My mom was.
Get your
good
shit
at that.
together,
Yeah.
and that's the type of therapist that you are. So you don't necessarily, you have to just know yourself. If you're not gonna be able to be that super calm, compassionate, kind, maybe that's not the way you relate to people. Doesn't mean that there isn't a modality for you. So you might wanna Google that and see if that's something that resonates.
And
And
what's
also,
odd is
you're-
I have both of them. I'm
You-
calm, and I'm also, like, I can be loud. So I don't understand it, it just kind of depends on who I'm around or
Okay,
whatever.
and you'll dictate, that can dictate who you're gonna do that to as a client.
And clients will also come to you that are going to accepting of that, or need of that, or want that type of therapy.
Right, they're gonna pick the type of therapist they want. That's why it's so important in your first session to explain the type of therapy that you work from. Yes.
I put on mine because I have such a hard time with honesty, and a big one for me is trust. Like, if I don't have that, if I can't build, as well as truth, if I can't build that with you,
Do you have friends that you have that with?
I mean, my son, who could, I
Well,
could
your son
run
isn't your
home.
friend,
I know.
like
Um,
peers.
No, I mean, I've gotten out of the social because of my son, so.
Are you thinking that you can't or shouldn't have friends because of your son? Because being a
No, I
mother doesn't
mean-
allow for the relationships?
Sometimes, but I see it more through my mom, because she is kind of like, you have to be responsible, you have to set an example, and she doesn't give me that air. Like, most recently, I was telling them how my mom all of a sudden said, oh, well, I can take care of Jay, but you can't go out that late. And I'm like, Mom, I'm going literally to eat or to do something during the day or something. At latest, I'll come back is like 11. But I don't want to give her that kind of, because then she's going to throw it in my face. Like yesterday,
So are you keeping from having social relationships?
it's because of her. It's
Okay,
because of
so
her.
what guidance can you give this client? Because your mom is not the only babysitter.
No, I know. And she said that she would come and talk to you and tell her how my story is totally different than what I put her out to be. Yeah. I was like, go
I
ahead.
like the
Well,
face she
why-
made when she's.
I was like, go ahead, talk to her. She knows all your life and all my life, so don't worry about that. Yeah.
So what guidance can we give this client? She's a young mother.
Should be your
She
therapist.
A
needs-
young mom. Get out of here, I'm 30.
You're still young.
Yeah, you're a young mom, and you're a young mom to a young child,
Well, yeah.
but you are young.
But-
You're still young.
Do
Come
you know
on
when
now.
I had my kids?
No, I
Did I tell you what?
at 30.
No?
41 and 44.
Oh, that's not bad though. You're still young.
Thank you, but that's when I had my kids.
No, I
So
know.
when you say you're old
35
mother,
is my
you're
cutoff
30,
date though.
I wasn't even near
No, I know, but
getting there.
see, it's like you have a support system. Even though my mom says that I have support from her, bullshit. Please.
But right now, the client, the only support that
Yeah.
you've shared with us is your mom
Yeah.
and that other couple
And the couple, right?
that you would leave them with. So what guidance do we give this client in terms of building new relationships? Because she needs friends. We don't want people, if we know that what builds well-being is having these relationships, a support system, what is it that we can recommend to this client who at this moment really is saying that she doesn't have these relationships with anybody and needs them because it's important?
Step out of your comfort zone and just go. You have to think about yourself and not. You have to think about you as the person, not you as the daughter. So do you want the friendships? Are you ready for it?
You can always get friends with kids. They can go to, parks, you can go to picnics,
I never even wanted a kid. I like to babysit kids, but I
Okay,
never
but you
wanted
have a
kids,
kid. This
so-
is a
Yeah,
great
exactly.
recommendation.
It is good.
This is why I had you do this activity of defining friendship. There are different kinds of friends. You have work friends, you have very close friends that you share everything with. You have friends like
Yeah.
Tanisha was talking about, Nikita, that only is there for when they're available and when you need them really badly. You have friends that are just for gossiping. You have friends that are just for drinking. You have friends that are just for parenting.
Mhm.
We have different people for different needs that we have. And what I'm hearing is that you need friends and you need perhaps people that have small children
Right.
as well,
Things
because
that
that
have
can
things in
create
Yeah,
a
exactly.
support group.
Hi.
And other people that have children might be in a similar situation.
Yeah.
And did you guys ever see that movie? I don't think it was called Bad Moms, something Moms, where they would
It's
all,
called Bad
It's Bad
Moms.
It's-
It is.
oh,
called
that
Bad
they would
Moms. 'Cause they
babysit.
smoke.
No, this
No?
was, I think it was a Tyler Perry movie. And they would all babysit the kids at one time so that the one mom can go out and have her life.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
So
and then
those
something
type of
happened
groups.
and.
Right, and then of course the comedy and all that.
Yeah,
But
like
that
how
was the
could you do this watching
concept.
my kid? Yeah. I can't-
That was the concept that everybody, right, and then one of them hooked up with the neighbor, the hot construction
Yes,
neighbor, and
yes.
things like that. But the idea is
Yeah.
that instead of relying on your mom, because your mom's not your friend, your mom is your mom,
Mhm.
and your son is your son, he's not your friend, people of your age or people of your same, sort of status, which is right now young mom, can help you because they're going through the same thing.
There's a show called Single Parents, that's exactly what they do. These are
Oh, okay.
single
Yeah,
parents
single
that their kids go to the same school. And they formed this little group.
Yeah, that's what I'm
And
trying to
so they talk to each other all the time, and then they each like babysit
Each
their
other.
others when they have events and stuff. And they, you watch the kids. I have this to do, and that's what they do. And it's a little support group.
Yeah, when I had Jay for as a baby, living by myself, but I was with a roommate. I knew her for a while, and she had a 5-year-old. So she would always push me to go out, and I'd be like, no, because Jay is little. But she would watch him, and then she would ask me to watch Hayden during the day because she had to go to work. So we kind of did that, but I don't know, at night, she was with her boyfriend. They were smoking weed in the, I was cool with it. But at the same time, when I would go out, I'd be texting her, and she's like, woman, have fun. He's fine. He's not gonna die. And I would still come home no later than 1, or maybe even before that, 11ish and 1.
And that's responsible.
Yeah, but
That's
then
not a criticism, that's
No.
responsible.
no, but then we had another girl move in. It was me, my dude, my homeboy, and us 3 living together, but my boy couldn't pay the rent, so we had her homegirl move in. When I tell you, she has a 5-year-old as well. But when I tell you that I found her and her friend doing coke in the kitchen,
Oh my God.
I was like, listen, I told Stephanie, I was like, get her, we're taking her out. I don't give a shit.
Okay, but that's being
Like,
a responsible
yeah.
parent.
Exactly.
But sometimes we are scared
yeah.
to make friends because look at what you guys are saying, you don't want to be judged. And sometimes it's easier when we're little, and we made these friends from youth because they've seen us sort of in our trajectory, they've seen us grow up and they've seen us screw up. But now we're adults, we should have our life figured out. and we should have, you know, all
That's
these
the
things,
thing.
which is a lie. Yesterday I was in therapy, and I'm telling something to Maria, and she tells me the story that when she was in middle school, I think, she walked in on her counselor, her school counselor, talking to her boyfriend. And she heard it, and it was like very dramatic. And at that moment, that's probably when she decided to be a therapist, but she said to herself, adults don't have anything figured out. And so I was talking to a friend of mine this morning, and her boyfriend got on the phone to say happy birthday. And I said, well, we figured, you know, I was telling him that she had said this to me last night, and I'm like, so adults don't have anything figured out. So I'm 46, and I'm in okay shape, because I don't have anything figured out. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. But we think that other people have it figured out.
Yeah.
So months ago, one of my girlfriends, her mom had had breast cancer too, the same time that I had my first breast cancer. And her mother had joined a support group. And she kept telling me, call this woman, join the support group. One of the people that work here, his wife had had breast cancer. She called me. So many people had reached out for the breast cancer to have me join these support groups, and I wouldn't go. And one of the things that I realized is that I felt like a fraud.
You
Because I
closed
didn't
yourself
finish,
off.
I closed myself off, I didn't finish the chemo treatments, you know, I went different way, and I'm like, I can't, I'm a fraud, I'm gonna be too vulnerable in joining these groups. And so I never did, and at a time that I needed support, I was refusing the support. And so we have to pay attention to when we do that, when we alienate and isolate ourselves because we're afraid of being judged. Because I was like, oh, they're gonna judge me because I didn't do the entire protocol, whoever used the word earlier, protocol of, you know, what everyone is supposed to do. And my girlfriend kept bugging me, call her. And one day I was like, okay, I'm gonna call her, and I didn't call. I thought about it, and I'm like, Frances, what is it that you're resisting? You know, it's a resistance, and you're gonna see that with your clients. What is it that you're resisting? And the resistance was, oh, they're not gonna consider me a true cancer patient or a true, you know, breast cancer survivor or whatever. And that was what was keeping me from having these friends, this support group with brain scars. I had it twice, I beat it twice. Why would I be any less than the people in the group? But we judge ourselves, and we don't think that we're worthy. So those same things that you have on your paper is exactly what the people that you're wanting to be friends want from you. And that's actually what you want someone to be, but that's actually what you're giving to people in friendship. So that's why you want it back. You want someone to throw you a party if you went out of your way to throw them a party, you know, but we have to learn to ask for what we need and accept the vulnerability. Yeah.
I was just thinking, the way, so I'm worried about what names. Nelly, she was explaining how she threw at the parties and all that stuff. It sounded just like what she said about her mom, how she's willing to give away.
Yes, I picked up that same thing.
Everything and it make her feel good. So I try to point out that how do you think your mom is? And I'm not saying she's 100% perfect on doing everything, but those are things that makes you satisfied. So if you can use that to try to understand, not to justify everything, but understand where she's coming from. Like
But I blamed this morning, and thank you for bringing it up, because I was telling you how my morning started horrible. I was driving to school, and all I wanted to do, I had to like pray and calm down, because I just wanted to take my car and fucking jump off the fucking bridge. And while I was thinking of this, I'm like, why is she talking so much shit about me when I'm doing the same shit she does, but in a different, you know, in a different way? Instead of buying her a house, I'm buying her flowers and cookies. So, and it just bothers me because she called me Watacona. Like
Why?
Okay, so everything started because what I was
That's like
wearing.
a kiss ass kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, taqueria is like when you're trying to kiss up to someone type of thing.
So, she tells me, first it's wrong what I'm wearing. First it's too see-through, and
What?
two, it's not this. I had something else. I had to change. So I had a white shirt and it was like super nice. I've never been able to wear it because I felt uncomfortable wearing it. And today I was like, you know what? I feel like wearing it. And I put it on. It was a little wrinkled, so I put it in the dryer and pulled wrinkle free. That shit didn't work, but I was like, fuck it. I want to wear this. So I put it on. She wakes up. She sees me. She's like, you're not wearing that, are you? I'm like, why? And I knew she was gonna comment about the wrinkles, so she's like, no, it's see-through. Oh, and yes, it is super wrinkled. You look disgusting. I'm like, so I went,
That's not good.
I went and I
No.
changed. She gave me something from her closet. She's like, wear this. I put it on. I didn't even want to wear it, but I put it on. I'm like, no, Mom, this is why I didn't want to put this on, because you could see my bra strap, and it was like big. So the little curves that I have left, you couldn't see them. I was like, no. So I take it off, and I took it off like super nice, because I know she gets offended. So I took it off, and I put it on the bed, like super nice. She's like, look at you. And long story short, she started telling me how disgusted I am, that I'm a fucking cow, that the little weight that I lost, I got it right back on because I have no motivation. She's telling me that I'm a fucking watacona, and that's not gonna make people see me as a good person and love me. So she told me that just because I'm doing nice things for people doesn't mean that they're gonna love me, that I need to stop trying so hard
The
to be
advice you
liked.
do is the advice
Wow.
you need.
That's
Isn't
exactly
her,
what
doesn't,
she's doing.
isn't
then I
that what
put
she
this
needs
on.
to hear?
And then I put this on, and then she's like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to sleep because, I can't see you like this, you look disgusting. And I texted these people, and I'm like, bro, I was having such a good night, so excited about making this for Yahia, that she deserves, to be shown that we care, and that we love her, and we appreciate her. And then my mom comes and fucking ruins my morning, telling me all this shit. So the whole way, all I can think of is, the words that she was telling me, and it just frustrates me because it's like, why? The one person that I want to fucking be there for me, and don't lie, but don't be so cruel to me. There was no need for you to tell me. And what bothers me is that you see that I'm in a diet, you see that I'm trying, you see that I'm not gaining weight, because I'm not. And you're telling me that I am? Bro, of course, every time I try to do diet, I always go back and end up being fat because I have no support from you.
First of all, this client, what does she need?
Love.
Love.
And a hug. And kisses.
But you need
You are
most of all
factor of love.
Yeah.
self-love.
See, my theory would be good. We could prove this theory that I have. That mothers and child, they might be lying, but there has to be a middle
Well, there has
point.
to be a meet in the middle, and it's not everybody, but absolutely.
Yeah.
But she needs to feel supported, she needs to feel loved, she needs to feel empathy, heard, listen. That's the relationship building. That's what the two of you have developed. That's what you've developed with your classmates. That's what we've developed. Where you feel heard in here. You don't feel judged, you feel supported.
And I want to hear you say, you don't deserve this. You have to say it.
I don't.
You have to say it out loud.
You have to scream it at the top
I
of your
believe
lungs.
it, though. I don't deserve it.
I used to think I did, but not anymore. I'm not a bad person. I don't deserve to be hurt from the one person that is supposed to keep me up and say, you can do it, girl, you can do it, instead of like being the one with a fucking latigo, being like, you're this, you're that, you don't deserve shit. And I think I mentioned it to someone that she would always, it got to a point in my life that I was scared of having a relationship, a romantic relationship, because she would always tell me, you're gonna end up with a man that's gonna hit you because that's what you deserve, that's what you're used to. And it got to a point where it's like, why? Why are you bringing this to my life? Because it's probably I'm gonna end up, because you've been big time me for so many years that I'm gonna believe it, and that's what I'm gonna end up with. And that's the exact opposite of what I want. I don't want a man that has to hit me and I have to deal with that. And she's like, that's what you like, so that's what you're gonna end up with, and that's what you deserve. And it's like, why? I haven't had enough from you? Like,
Did you
is
say that
it?
to her out loud?
No, I could never. Like, when she starts
Why?
saying that,
Why?
like, my throat just, like, closes
I
down,
told
and
my mom
I can't,
she's a
I can't
bitch.
speak.
How can you not tell her shit?
And she hurts me so
You
bad that it
fucking
cuts
whore,
my
you're a
throat.
bitch. That's how I
Her
talk
words
to
are
my
so
mom.
hurtful that it cuts my throat.
Have
Okay,
you ever
don't
tried
use
writing
that,
it
but-
down? Writing a letter?
I've tried
Ugh,
texting her,
I've tried
I've told
that
her
with
a
my
million
mom.
times, I'd rather you beat the shit out of me than say those hurtful things.
But-
Because the bruises go away, but your words stay with me forever.
But you know what I
She's
found?
in an emotionally abusive
Yeah.
relationship with
Yeah.
her parents.
It's a cycle.
It's
Yeah.
a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And that's what I was gonna
The domestic
say.
abuse cycle exists. Google it. The
Because
domestic abuse cycle
that's what, exactly
exists.
what it is, that's what domestic abuse is, because she's gonna go back and buy you clothes and say, look what I got for you, because that's her way of saying, I'm sorry for being such a bitch.
It's like
And then
materialistic.
she's
ways.
gonna go back to
You
doing
don't
the same
need
thing.
And I have told her, because she's always saying how she left her family and she left Cuba to, you know, build a better future for me. And sometimes I've had the courage to tell her, but Mom, have you ever thought that maybe I didn't need nice clothes? I needed my mom.
Sounds
I
like
wouldn't
she's
have
resentful.
cared if I didn't have food to eat. I would have much rather have my mom and dad together. And you know, she told me, she's like, yeah, I know, I wish I could stay there with you, but I wouldn't have been able to give you anything. I'm like, well, now we'll never know if I would have been happier. And I always tell her, you know, if I would have stayed in Cuba, I probably would have a family already. And I would have been so fucked up probably. Because everything started when I moved to England. That's when everything started. My depression, me wanting to kill myself. And here I've
Well, you
learned
were
that.
also alone with her.
You were alone,
You were
and
alone.
she was
And the
never
only
alone.
other person that was there was the one person I hate, have ever hated in my life. That's the one person. I've never been able to hate nobody but that person. And it's not because he was a bad person, but because he was taking the place of my
Your
dad.
dad, of course.
And whose fault is that? Her fucking fault.
So what do we do with this client?
It's, I think, building self-esteem
Okay.
and realizing that it is a cycle.
That it's an abusive relationship.
And that you need to stand, even you, okay, this is what I was told in my own therapy, because as you guys know, I have a shitty mom. She wanted me to take an abortion pill. Actually, she was gonna sneak the abortion pill so I could lose my baby on the plane. And she used to call me names. I mean, I love singing, and I was a little girl, and I had the hairbrush, and whatever, you know, I thought I was a pop star, and she'd go, don't quit your fucking day job, you're not gonna do it. Eventually, when I realized she wasn't gonna change, I cut her off, simply because she was hurting my self-esteem. Period. Like, who I thought I was that piece of shit she said I was. Because I had my son at 16. Oh, you're a piece of shit, you had your kid at 16, you're not gonna be anything.
Now, this client doesn't have that option right now, just like Paula doesn't have the option. But yes, building self-esteem is huge, and making the client realize that there is an abuse cycle. The abuse cycle always starts with honeymoon. Then it slowly deteriorates, so maybe when she bought you the furniture, or she bought you the clothes, or the other night when, you know, she told you to go to the party and all of that, that's like a honeymoon thing.
Yeah.
It slowly starts to deteriorate, the abuse escalates, the quality of the relationship deteriorates, and then there's full-blown
That was
abuse. And then there's the apology, just like with the drunk husband, I'm sorry, it'll never happen again, and it'll never happen again. And then it's back to honeymoon.
Right.
And you are in an abusive relationship with your parents. Sometimes just awareness around it, because at this moment, she cannot leave. She cannot do that.
Is it space?
I'm sorry?
Is the next recommendation space? Like, take
Well,
Well,
it
for
depends
space,
when-
I literally lock my room. I changed the lock on my room that only has one way in, one way out from the inside, and it's always locked.
What, a
And
part-time?
she hates that.
Try to get a part-time to start away, start.
I have a
She
part-time.
has- she
I
has.
work I go to school, and the little time that I have free, I try to, this is the reason why, even though it's like I'm going out of a toxic relationship with my mom and going into a toxic relationship, romantically with my ex. So the more I try to get